This is the most crazy time that I've ever seen in politics. Things that you think are going to happen never happen. And the things that we say would never happen are happening. It's just completely crazy. Some are worked up about Donald Trump. Some are now worked up about Nancy Pelosi. We wring our hands, and we even had times when Trump was first elected, people couldn't even have like Thanksgiving dinner together because they were yelling at one another. There are times when those big-time leaders can affect you, but most of the time they don't. Do you know what does affect you? All of you. You're motivated by the people you're around. For students, it's like, can I get my courses? Do I like my teacher? Is my professor treating me fairly? How are my roommates? And what's going on at home? Those are the things that really affect us on a day-to-day basis. And you know what's so great about that? That means we have the power. Somebody else doesn't have the power. We have the power. And somehow in our country, we have been losing sight of the fact that we call the tune, not somebody else that lives in a faraway place who we will probably never even see, let alone meet. And that's pretty exciting. It's up to us, not somebody else, not the president, not the corporate head, but it's really up to us. You see, because power in America does not flow from the top down. I know, I've been in this stuff for most of my life. Power doesn't come this way, power goes up. Part of the elixir for solving all the political fighting is when you live a life a little bigger than yourself. When you're working at the food bank, when you stand up for somebody who's being bullied, when you, in that sorority, invite somebody who's been an outcast to have dinner or go to a party with you, that's when we forget all this nonsense, this fighting that divides this country, because divided, we don't stand very well. United, we do. Are we living a life here bigger than ourselves? No, nobody's applying for sainthood here. I'm the first one to say I'm the farthest thing away from it. I make terrible mistakes. But I can get up the next day and think about the fact that how can I be impactful? How can I change the world? And this is not just a discussion for fancy philosophers, it's a discussion for all of us in our families and in our school, at our workplace, wherever we are. Because that's how we find satisfaction in life. When we live a life a little bigger than ourselves. If you work with others, become part of a large mosaic that can unify us rather than to divide us, we'll restore the soul of our country. The fact is that people are fed up with all this division and anger and hatred. We are fed up with it, and we got to stand up against it, each and every one of us, whenever we can. And if we do, we'll restore the heart and the soul of this precious United States of America. So the question is, what am I going to do? I don't really know. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't want to go on some wild goose chase. I also don't want to run so I hurt somebody else. I'm not interested in that. Here's the way I look at it. If you have Donald Trump and somebody on the far left, there may be an ocean of people who say, I don't like either choice. And they may, for the first time, actually light up to a third-party candidate who could win. I don't know that that's going to happen. You're so generous to be here, and thank you for being here, and I loved it. So I won't forget it. Thank you. Thank you.